All right, so happy Sunday to you, unless it's not Sunday when I either post this or when you're watching this. If it's not Sunday, then just happy today to you. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about acoustic sets in a worship context. So if you are at a church that normally does like full band stuff with all the trimmings, do you take weeks where you do a stripped down, just acoustic, maybe acoustic piano, something like that? And is that easier on the worship pastor or more difficult? We're going to get into that in just a minute. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm probably in the minority when it comes to this, but hear me out. I think it's a little more difficult to do an acoustic week. And here's why. We have this sort of unspoken rule at our church. If you have an acoustic week, it has to sound as good and as full as a normal week. Sort of unspoken rule at our church. And I don't know where it got started, but it's a thing. So is that something that's normal at your church? How do you approach it? I would love to hear in the comments section. What are your go-tos when it comes to an acoustic set? For me, I find that an acoustic set a lot of times is slightly more challenging than a regular set, and here's why. Normally, I'm doing any worship tune and I've got 8 to 10 people on stage helping me carry out that song, right? So if I'm leading that week, all I have to worry about is probably playing guitar and singing. If I'm playing guitar, playing like lead electric, then I have to worry about one part. If I'm playing drums, again, I only have to worry about drums. But if it's an acoustic week, I feel the need to cover more ground than on a normal week. So on a normal week, I wouldn't have to cover some, melodic lead line that the electric is normally covering and sing the song. But on an acoustic week, that might come up. So there I am trying to lead the song, and in between, I normally don't have to bounce back and forth with that. I normally can just focus on the congregation, focus on my parts, anything that I'm going to say in any down sections, speaking points, any of that stuff, focus on that and not have to cover that ground. In addition, we also have implemented a stomp box at our church, not a boss pedal. That's a stomp box too, right? Any guitar pedal is a stomp box. Not one of those, but literally it's a box that you stomp on and you plug that into a DI and it makes a thump sound. It doesn't sound like a kick drum and it doesn't sound like a true stomp. It's somewhere in between. We started using that on acoustic weeks and I'm just foolish enough to go, yeah, I can totally handle that too. So now I'm stomping on this box, I'm playing acoustic, playing some lead parts and covering space that I wouldn't normally have to, and still trying to lead the song. Lastly, I find it's a little bit boring if I'm playing a song and I am playing just regular chords the whole time. Like, I want to shake it up. I want to play different sets of chords, different shapes, different voicings for different parts of the song to give it a little bit more air, change it up, make a chorus pop a little bit more versus the verse. But all of that takes even more brain power. All I'm saying is, for me, I think doing an acoustic set is actually a little bit more taxing than doing a regular set. So with a regular set, I've got more support. I don't have to cover all of that ground. I'd be really curious what it's like at your church. What situations do you use acoustic sets? Because like for us, What's normal is we just kind of throw an acoustic set in like our sort of regular rotation here and there just to make things interesting. Just so that there's a week, you know, maybe with perc instead of drums, or just to have a week that's a little bit quieter than a regular week. That's sort of how we've done it, but I'd be really curious how you do it at your church. Let me know, how do you use acoustic sets at your church? And is it easier to do an acoustic set than it is a full band set? Your thoughts. Hit me up. And of course, let me know if there's any other topics that you'd like to start a conversation about, anything that you'd like to pick my brain on. Let me know in the comments section. Till next time, keep getting better.